Okay, so we will be doing the full-time competitive look on an older face. So we're going to start with concealer. So we're going to conceal the Studio Finish concealer. Any blemishes, redness usually around the nose or around the mouth, and definitely the eyes. So it can be darker circles or veins or anything that is out of ordinary. So I'm using a small triangle brush, but if you don't have that, this one is just from the bottom of your Studio Fix, and you can use that one as well. I'm going to be using a small brush or sponge. I'm going to start with the eyes. So, yes, close your eyes. Okay, so once I've concealed all her eyes, all the redness around the nose, any blemishes or discoloration, I'm going to use the Studio Fix powder to set that all in. So if you notice, close your eyes, there are some creases from the concealer. So before you put the powder, you're going to want to just even that out and then set it with your powder. Once you have your skin all done, we're going to start with the eyebrows. So you're going to take your concrete shadow and an angle brush and just get that full of product. Tap off any extra. And you're going to start on the inner of the eyebrow, and you're going to do slight strokes up to fill in any gaps and to shape it. So the eyebrows are done. You can either before and after, ideally. You can either have a toothbrush or an eyebrow brush and just brush that product in and make sure the brows are where they should be. If your brows are not staying where you want them to be, you can always put some hairspray on the end of your toothbrush and just run it through so that they stay in place. Once your brows are done, we're going to start with the shadows. So you need your Bare Study paint pot, so the primer. You're going to take your brush, some product on there, and you're going to put this over the whole lid. So when you do the primer over the lid, it has to be the entire lid. So not just this, it has to be all the way up to the brow because you will be applying product all over this area. So you need it to stick. And once that's on both of your lids, you can move on to shadows. So we have 3 shadows. The highlight is White Frost. The crease is called Amber Lights, and for the outer corner and underneath is Espresso. So I will be starting with Espresso, and I'm going to use brush 239, the smaller one. I'm going to get it in there to the Espresso. So when you're doing Espresso, you will start in the outer corner. Press on all that product, and you're going to bring it up into the crease slightly. So once you've done the Espresso, you're going to take the Amber Lights. I'm using the same brush I did for the Espresso. And I'm just going to go into the crease all the way to the inside and blend it nicely with the outside. Now after you do this, you may need to go back and add some Espresso to the outside just so it blends well with the Amber Lights. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now we're going to go back to the Espresso. I'm using my angle brush because we're going to be going under the eye. So we're not doing liner under the eye, we're going to use the shadow. It's a softer look, but still going to make that eye pop. So I'm taking this right, going to connect it to the top so it blends well, and bring it right under the eye. I'm kind of pushing it in as opposed to brushing it. And then I'm going to just make sure that everything's clean, bring my sponge, brush away any excess. So once you have the Espresso and Amber Lights, we're going to use the White Frost just to highlight. So I'm using the big fluffy white brush, and I'm just going to use the tip of it, just get the product on there, tap it off, and then it goes under the brow. And that White Frost goes under the brow and inner corner of the eye to really highlight that. Okay, so for liner, it is the Brush Black liner, and we're going to go on top of the eye. So, just a little bit. I'm going to do small strokes. I like to start in the middle and work out. Just going to line the top. And keep your eyes closed and let that dry. So once we did the liner, we're going to move on to lashes. So we're going to do mascara before lashes, just so that they blend, because the lashes are usually lighter, so you would notice them after you put the false lashes on. So I'm going to do mascara first. So for lashes, just want to make sure these ones already fit her eye, but if they're too long, you want to measure it on the eye beforehand, and then you would snip off whatever excess from the outside, the long ones. So this one already measures for her eye, but if it's too long, you would just snip off the end. And now this one has already been used, so there is extra glue. To clean lashes, you can use tweezers or just pick off, so you would peel off all of the old glue carefully so you don't pull out lashes. And then if you would like to sanitize it, you can get 99% alcohol, or the closest you can get to 100%, and just get it on a Q-tip and just run it along the lash line. It'll dry quickly because it is a higher percentage alcohol, and it'll sanitize it. So I'm going to put glue. So I'm going to take the end of a makeup brush, dip it into the glue, and then just run it across the lash. It's a nice clean line, no extra glue. Just leave the eye closed to let it dry for a minute or two, and then when you open it, do it slowly, just in case there is some glue that fell down and you're kind of stuck. Slowly open it, but just leave it for a minute or two to dry. So once you've done the lashes, you're going to want to do another liner, just so it's nice and clean. Close your eyes. So just go right on top. Eyes closed. Keep it closed so it dries. So once you've done those lashes and the upper liner, I'm just going to add some mascara to the bottom lashes, look way up. Especially if they have blonde lashes, You just want everything to be consistent. So if you have that dark line under there, and then you have blonde lashes on top, it'll take away from how dark that is. Okay, so we're going to do contour and blush. So we're going to take our blush brush, and Sculpt is the contour. So you get product on there, tap it off. I like to squeeze it just so it's thinner, so you can get right exactly where you want to, under the cheekbone, from the inner ear, sort of in the direction to the outer lip. So right under there, and bring it in. And you're going to take your blush, which is Dolly Mix. It's the same brush. And you're going to go from the apple of the cheek up onto the cheekbone. So smile for me. So this is the apple of the cheek. When you smile, you have that round there. So you're just going to start there and blend up. You can relax your face now. So once you've done your contour and blush, you're going to go and do your highlight on top of the cheekbone and on top of the eyebrow. So we have the soft and gentle. You can use our blush brush again. And just into your cheek. So you're going on top of the cheekbone. And I like to do a sort of backward C. Just to highlight this whole section. So now we're going to move on to lips. So depending on which number you're in, it may change. So there are 3 lipsticks. The one for every number unless specified otherwise is this darker red called Sin, and you would use Mahogany lip liner. So if you're in a contemporary or a specific number that they've specified otherwise, there's a nude option, and that is called Honey Love. So we will be showing that one as well. And then for numbers like musical theater or a specific jazz number, there's a brighter red, which is called Ruby Woo. So when doing liner, I like to blend it in a little bit to the lip, just because if your lipstick wears off at any point, you won't have a harsh line. It'll blend well into the lipstick. And then for the lipstick, so we're going to start with the basic lipstick for majority of the numbers, which is called Sin. So I have product all on my lip brush, and I'm just going to get it on there. I even like to use the tip of the lip brush basically as another liner, just to really blend those colors well. In your mouth. Okay, so this is the final look with the brighter red lipstick, Ruby Woo. That one. So for specific numbers, you will have this one. Okay, so we're going to show the nude Honey Love option. I'm going to show you how to make it look the best because every lip color is different and that will influence the color of the matte, the nude lipstick. So I have just taken off red lipstick as well, so this will get rid of any leftover red in the lips. So you're just going to take your Studio Fix and go over the whole lip. So you get a neutral base. And then from that point you would put on the nude lipstick. So I'm just going to go directly put it on. Open. Okay, so this is the final look with the nude lipstick Honey Love, the matte nude. So most likely you will have this for contemporary numbers or possibly a hip hop number.